1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. I like Virgil Ortiz. Virgil's parents couldn't spell his first name. It's not Virgil, Vergil. But the bottom line is he can fight. Of course, he's taking on Eric Lubin. That's going to go down in a couple of weeks. I really think that at one point in time he was the best welterweight on the planet. Of course, the suspicion that there was some performance-enhancing drugs involved that sort of screwed up his blood, but the bottom line is he's back on track at 154, and that figures to be a good fight. Straight up, this is Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Back when we come back, the B side of the record. We're going to talk with Dennis Lawler and what it's like to be a professional boxer and travel the world. Straight up, this is Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654. Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News & World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
The horns of the mighty Tower of Power bringing us back from the break. It is 40 and a half minutes past the hour. This is Ring Talk Live Worldwide, Sunday, of course, October 12th, 2025, hour number 2 of 2 hours, of course, live here on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, Satellite Radio, the American Forces Network, Stitcher.com, TuneIn.com. I can keep going, but the bottom line is I'll be talking till the end of the show. Now, it's time to bring in a young man that I've known a long, long time. He's a brother of Pat Lawler, and that has nothing to do with anything, but the bottom line is his name is Dennis Lawler. Of course, he was a fighter with me here at Newman's Gym in San Francisco. And Dennis, how's life treating you?
Life's treating me okay, Pedro. Everything's good.
Okay. I got to ask you this. What is it like? some guys are better fighters in the gym than they are in the ring. Do you think you were a better gym fighter than you were in? Do you think that applies to you? Because you know what, in the gym you're like, you really gave me hell. Yeah, I mean, you really something. What's the story on that? Were you better prepared in the gym?
You know, when I turned professional, or even when I was fighting amateurs, there wasn't a whole lot of shows like there is now, and of course, they didn't have the internet. It was just a lot harder to get fights. And once I was boxing guys that were good fighters, of course, people in other gyms find out about it. So it was hard for me to get amateur fights, and it was hard for me to get pro fights locally. So there wasn't a lot of promotion then, so I ended up going on the road like a lot of fighters do, ended up going on the road to just to be able to get some opportunity.
You know, I had 12 cancellations in 52 fights, and that means I would have had 64 fights or something like that, okay? But 12 times either the guy didn't show up or he quit at the weigh-in or some crazy went down, and my mother would show up each time. And she said, "You better be fighting." I said, "Mom, I'm really, you better," because she would like come from San Francisco to Hayward after work, fly across the bridge, the whole 9 yards, get to Miguel's, and find out I wasn't fighting. Because this was before we had cell phones, remember? Couldn't call him and tell him, "Hey, Mom, guess what? I'm not fighting." So he'd show up. So the last time she showed up, she says, "Listen," she goes, "if you don't fight tonight," she goes, "I ain't showing up no more." She was kidding. I did fight tonight, but the bottom is, yeah, Mom was my. I told you, she was my running coach. She ran me. She drove the car and I ran. So it was cool, man. She smoked a cigarette. She drove me to the ground. She ran me up Westboro Boulevard in South City. I don't know if you know where Westboro is.
Of course.
But that's a monster hill.
It sure is.
And she would run me up there every night.
Yeah, that's
and then when I get near the top and I wasn't going as fast as she wanted me to go, she's hitting the horn. I mean, she was relentless. But that's what got me in the shape that I was in. Without her, I don't think I'd ever won anything. All right. So let's talk about let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about being Pat Lawler's brother. Any pressure on being Pat Lawler's brother? He was sort of had a big of a name around.
Well,
here.
yeah, we're pretty close in age. I'm 18 months older than my brother, and my brother had quite a bit of success. Was already 2 or 3 time Golden Gloves champion. And I was a hockey player as a youth. I traveled. Was on a traveling team. I was a goalie, and
did you play at legs?
Yeah, I played at legs, of course. Yeah.
Where was the one out in the avenues?
That was just a little ice rink there on 48th Avenue.
But listen, you know, these people are going to get upset when I say this, but I was the only brown guy that did that stuff. I'm telling you, man, I would take buses across town and go ice skating with my friend, right? But I was the only guy. I mean, the rest of us were white and this and that, and the white girls for the most part. But it wasn't a thing of color. It just wasn't when I was ice skating. I was like all by myself out there, but it was cool. Legs was down on 11th Street, right up the street. Guess who I saw right up the corner? Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, wow.
In 1968, in June of 1968, Bobby Kennedy had a campaign officer, his campaign headquarters, and I was in there getting some bumper stickers. I was giving out bumper stickers, Kennedy bumper stickers, and he walked in and he said hello to everybody. That was a trip, man. And then 3 days later, he's dead.
Wow.
Dead.
Wow, you're pretty close to that. I don't know if I'd let that get out over the air.
What do you mean let that? I know who shot him. I mean, there was a guy that was, the guy Sirhan was in front of Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy. And Bobby Kennedy was killed with a gunshot to the back of his head. There was gunpowder burns in the back of his neck here and on the shirt collar, okay? So there's no way that 2 guys could have done this. I mean, one guy could have done this from a front. In other words, you can't shoot me in the back of the head from where you're sitting across the room, okay? So somebody had to be shooting from behind. The guy shooting from behind was Eugene Hale Caesar. That was the security guard. Because remember, nobody can get near these guys with guns. But the security guards or cops can get near him with guns. So Eugene Hale Caesar shot Kennedy from behind, and Sirhan's still taking it around. Sirhan's still in jail.
Oh, yeah, he is. I think he's still at San Quentin.
Still alive, yeah, he's still alive. I tried to get to see him one time. They wouldn't let me. I tried, man. You know what? I thought it would have been a good. I thought it would have been a good interview. Sirhan. I mean, he says he doesn't remember anything. I could believe that. I mean, the CIA had all kinds of crazy stuff going on there as far as mind control and that kind of crazy stuff, man. And there was some chick down there in the Ambassador Hotel that night with Sirhan. There's some fat girl wearing polka dots, right? And they thought she was part of the CIA. But what I thought was really about the CIA that night in Los Angeles was Michael Carball's uncle was with the CIA. He was the number 4 guy in the CIA. I can't think of his name right now. It was Mendoza, Martinez, something like that. He was the number 4 guy in the CIA. He had his own parking space in Langley. Where the CIA headquarters were, okay? And he told Carball's father that he was in Dallas when JFK was killed, and he was in L.A. when Bobby was killed. He admitted, he goes, yeah, we killed both those son of a bitches. That's what he admitted to Michael Harbaugh's father. Michael Harbaugh's father told me that after he died.
Pedro, that was the best segue back to boxing I've ever heard.
Oh, actually, I don't know how I got off there, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for correcting me there. So anyway, traveling the world, man. You went all over the world. What was the best place you ever been?
Oh, let's see. I boxed in Denmark a couple of times, fought in Denmark, fought in Germany a couple of times. But I traveled in camp. I was in south of France for 5 weeks boxing with the French champion, Frédéric Sellier.
How much did they pay? They give you money for that?
Yeah, that was making, which was a lot of money, but this was a 1993 maybe, and I was making $1,000 a week.
It's tough to make $1,000 a week now.
Yeah, it was good. I had a good union job, and I told them, you got to at least be able to match my salary. I can't take time off work, and it was my running, because I ran, and they didn't have to go running with them. That's what sold them on it. And so I had been to a couple of camps, and I had good recommendations. So, I was over there for 5 weeks in the south of France. It was pretty fun.
You know, I don't know if you remember a guy by the name of James Broad. He was a former heavyweight, from North Carolina. He died in the back of a Greyhound station a few years ago. But anyway, he sparred with Tyson and all those monsters, you know what I'm saying? And then I could see the residual effects of the sparring affecting him. You know what I'm saying? I could see it. Every time I saw James, he was just not a lot, but it's a little bit slower. And then at one point in time, his eyes were off. When you looked at him straight up, one eye was off, tilted, and that's a sign of neurological damage from impacts. Okay, so James, I was trying. How can I tell this? When is enough enough? Do you know? Is there a way to judge when somebody's had enough?
I can tell you, the first day I got to France, we got right off the plane. They picked me up in Cannes. We drove straight to the gym, and they want to make sure that they're getting somebody who knows how to fight. So they brought me straight to the gym and gloved me up, and I just got off a 9-hour flight, whatever it was, and probably been up all night. So he put it on me pretty well. And I went back to the dressing room, and I cried, because I had to be there for 5 more weeks with this guy, and he just knocked me around pretty good. I can't turn around and tell them, no, I don't want to be here. They just paid for me to flew me over. So it got better after I got home and got a couple nights sleep. And I came back on Monday or whatever it was and put together some rounds. But that first day, and I was still pretty young then, but I thought I was in over my head. But he was a good guy that, lucky for me, was a guy I could catch pretty easily. And so it got pretty even after that point. But that first day was it was hard.
I remember crying after losing the Western Olympic trials. I wasn't crying, but I called my parents afterwards. I lost the decision number 9, Vincent Webb. And I was a bit disappointed. It was humbling, very humbling. Guys was bigger. I couldn't believe 139 pounders was that much bigger than me. But the bottom line is we were the same weight, and he won. And I remember calling Mom afterwards, collect. Remember the old collect phone calls?
Sure.
Yeah, collect phone calls like $90, something like some crazy fee. And they were crying. Both my stepfather and my mother were crying, but they weren't crying because I lost. They were just, you know what I'm saying? So it was like really in a month. But somebody said to me, why do you remember the losses more than you do the wins? I don't know, but I do.
I didn't have a whole lot of success, but I was able to travel a lot, meet a lot of good people, and I put them in all in. You fight on the road. You're not bringing you in there to beat their guy. Obviously, they're bringing you in there as an opponent every time.
They didn't listen. I mean, that sort of went well down there in the valley because that's where I padded my record. I padded it. Okay, I admit it. I padded my record in the valley, beating up guys who were chubby and, you know what I'm saying, the guys, farm guys, that kind of stuff. I admit it. Maybe there's probably, of the 38 wins, there's probably about 15 guys on that resume there that are just pieces of work. I mean, they couldn't fight a lick, couldn't hold up their hands, that kind of stuff. And I did it down the valley. And then I went down to Turlock, California in a qualifying match, right? And I was fighting their hometown guy, and they disqualified me. You know what they disqualified me for, Dennis?
What's that?
Kicking his ass. There was nothing else going on. So they disqualified me, caused a riot. I threw my gloves in the crowd, caused a big riot, the whole 9 yards. Police had to escort me out of town. The cop says to me, this is the first time I ever had to escort another cop anywhere. I said, you could You know, basically, you guys can all do this because I showed. You don't know if you remember what Duran did to the crowd. What Duran did to Benitez after the Leonard fight. He sort of grabbed his crotch